We're going to look at Daniel chapter 3, verses 26 and 27 today. We're partway into a story, and here's what it says. Then Nebuchadnezzar went near the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spoke, saying, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abed-Nego, servants of the Most High God, come out and come here. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abed-Nego came from the midst of the fire. And the satraps, administrators, governors, and the king's counselors gathered together. And they saw these men on whose body the fire had no power. The hair of their head was not singed, nor were their garments affected, and the smell of fire was not on them. The Christian religion is distinct from other world religions in several aspects, and one of the most telling of these differences shows up in the story we just read. Travel the world and you'll find millions of people trying to scrape their way upward, trying to escape the painful realities of the world by working their way up through a religious system that one day, hopefully, will help them reach their God. But Christianity's different. When we suddenly find ourselves hopeless, least able to do anything about our situation, that's when we discover God coming down to meet us. Now, think about this. If Israel had been faithful to God, Daniel's friends would have never found themselves in the predicament we read about in Daniel chapter 3. So in that way, you could say that the fiery furnace was a consequence of Israel's rebellion. It's a little like the predicament we find ourselves in as a result of sin. We were supposed to be stewards of the planet, but instead we ended up in the clutches of a cruel king whose ego knows no end and whose hatred for God is boundless. Human suffering is a consequence of our rebellion. But at the same time, as the human race finds itself hurtling hopelessly toward death and destruction, something amazing happens. The Son of God takes on human form and joins us here. He literally steps into the flames with us. In human flesh, He takes the worst that a sinful world has to offer. He goes to the grave and comes back on the other side. And because He did that for us, we can pass through the grave ourselves and come out of the other side literally unscathed by the flames. And because we get new bodies in the resurrection, as it says in the book of Philippians, the scars of sin will be gone, and even our clothes won't smell like smoke. It's the great hope of the Bible. Paul says that because Jesus died and rose again, the sting of death is something we don't have to fear. There really is someone who has walked through the flames with us, and His grave is empty. And right now, as you face the worst the devil has to offer, Jesus is still there, walking through the flames beside you, offering you a better way to live.